Committed to building community through global awareness and understanding, we challenge teens globally to step outside of their comfort zone and expand their worldview by entering a new one. Hosted by supportive families, young people are given the opportunities to explore new locations, immerse themselves in a different way of life, and create impact in regions far from home, all while forming lasting relationships. And making countless memories. Returning home with endless stories to share. Because a moment can be the experience that lasts a lifetime. Rotary Youth Exchange. Find out more at rotary.org/youth exchange.
And welcome to the Rotary Club meeting for January 25th, 2023. I'm going to hear, turn the sound off. There we go. Hey, so I'm glad everybody is here, and there's a bunch of stuff going on, and we've got a great speaker today. Let me go over a couple of things. Number one is that we are distributing the Art for Peace contest. Recall a couple of years ago, every year we have the Peace Conference, which will occur in March. But a couple of years ago, they ran a contest for students to essentially do drawings based on the theme of the Peace Conference. They're doing that again this year. So we have distributed the applications to Bonita Unified School District, Holy Name of Mary and McKinley. And hopefully, as last year before last, I can't remember which it was now, 5 or 6 of our students here in the district will win awards for their wonderful artwork. Number 2, food drive is coming up very soon, March 11th. We're supporting the Pelican Pantry on the Marine Corps base. And our first ever Facebook ad is active for that food drive. So we'll see what that happens. We put $100 on the table and we'll see what happens. Not a lot, but we want to experiment around with that. RILA is coming up. I've spoken to the committee. They're working hard. We've already put the money into that. That's Rotary Youth Leadership Academy. I know that our Interact president is excited to go. Hopefully she will be selected along with a male student. So that's going. Teacher mini grants. We did teacher mini grants over at Elba Design, and we had a really good evening. I thought I'd show you the picture. 4 of our teachers showed up, and lots of our Rotary members, and we now have those giant checks, which I think are kind of cool looking. They all told us about their projects and what they have going on. And by the way, you can see Courtney Lytle there on the end from Chaparral. One of the things that she teaches in her life skills class at Chaparral High School is how to write checks. So we're going to get her a giant check that says Chaparral High School on it, so that the young people over there can learn to write checks, and hopefully they'll not write them on my account. So here we go. What else we got going on? A couple more things before we start. Smile is gone. Amazon Smile has disappeared. They're no longer doing that. But digital donuts are here. Can you believe digital donuts are here and Smile is gone? So I'm going to show you a trick I want you all to do. You're going to get an email very soon about this. And I'm excited a little bit. Hang on, let me go over to it. Okay, notice here we have a start page. Go to www.smileforsandimas.com. And there we go. The San Dimas Rotary Krispy Kreme digital donuts. This is fantastic because for every dozen donuts that we sell, and this will begin in 6 days, 8 hours, 54 minutes, and 28 seconds, and run 30 days, it will support the food drive. But for we get half of whatever we get for digital donuts. That's nationwide. So we've got all of the American Legion posts and everybody who will put this out to help raise funds for digital donuts. And let's see how that goes. So let's go around the wheel and see who we have with us today. Beginning with Casey. You seem to be hogging my screen for some reason anyway.
Not hogging any screen. Hey, good morning. It's good to see you, gentlemen. Glad to be part of the Rotary, past president, connecting in the community. Raymond, just touching on our student. I haven't asked anybody at San Dimas High. So Mike, I just want to make sure that you and I don't miss out on the Rotary president telling we need to find a male from San Dimas High if that's where we're going. So We can wrap back around later, but just owning the process. I haven't moved that forward. Glad you're all here.
I think that if you guys talk, and we need to make sure we get a couple of alternates so we can snatch up somebody else's fees too and send another couple of students. The question came up, could we pay for two more? And the answer is no. The last fundraiser didn't do well enough for us to be able to afford two more students, but we've paid for two. So I know you guys will figure out who they're going to be. Glenn Johnson, you're next up. Introduce yourself, brother.
Glenn Johnson, member of Satellite Rotary Club and San Dimas Masonic Lodge.
Awesome. And Anthony Porter?
Good morning, everybody. Member Education Foundation. We're having our meeting tomorrow about our annual golf tournament. So I'll be bringing some of that information back through here. But if you have any questions, I'm here to help.
Awesome. Steve?
Yes, sir. Hello, everyone. My name is Steve Scott, State Farm agent in San Dimas. I am the current pseudo treasurer with an assist from Barb, who's not here today, and I am happy to be here.
Now, Steve, you have some wonderful news for us because you are still, as I understand it, our president-elect. Is that not correct?
That's correct.
But because you and I neither of us can attend pets, they have refunded our pets money and we get to go to a special Zoom pets.
That is correct.
Oh, that's so awesome, Steve. Thank you so much. So you got a $700 and probably instead of a 3-day president-elect training, which we've both been through. I've done 4. How many have you done?
I've done well, I've been to 3. I've done 1.5.
Okay, so
I make a motion for at least a percentage of that $700 to be available for a drink for Steve if he wants it.
I'm good there, Casey. Thank you. All stocked up.
Very cool. And so that's excellent. So Steve, we're still looking forward to the Zoom pets, and we do appreciate the money we're getting back. And let's see who's next up. Diva, I heard you giggling. What's up with you?
What's up with me? Well, nothing much here. I mean, just enjoying. I'm glad I was able to jump in. And again, Diva Alfaro, I've been here for what, 3-4 years? I'm already lost count. Well, I have an update about the fashion show, but I'll talk about that later. Just happy to be here, happy to be around people that are like-minded and ready for today's meeting.
Okay, so I got 2 questions for you, Diva, before you go. The first is, how do we all get a halo? Because you've got a halo right now.
That's my lamp or my fixture in my office.
Number 2 is you have some exciting personal news. Is it too early?
Not yet. Not
okay,
yet.
I'm not going to share. Okay, I won't.
Not yet, because this is recorded, right? This is going to be out. Okay, yeah, not yet.
All right. Just know that Diva has exciting stuff going on, and I'm excited for her. And I'm excited at the fashion show. We had a committee meeting. It is moving along, and that is the fashion show to support the House of Ruth, which we are going to be doing in June. And last but not least, Mike Wallace, welcome to the thing, and tell us who you are, Mike.
Welcome. It's good to be at the thing. Hi, everyone. Mike Wallace, Better Home Financial. Been in Rotary for coming up on 8 years now, and past president, past treasurer, and just happy to be here with everyone and serving the community.
So, Mike, you sent me a text with a picture of boxes. Are those empty boxes, I hope?
They are. They are all empty boxes. They're here in my office, and I can keep them here until the food drive, or I can take them wherever they need to be. So
excellent. Thank you so much. And we'll give a food drive update after our speaker too. So we're pleased to move right. Let's move right into our speaker. Steve, he lives in Glendora, and he's been married for 39 plus years with 3 children, one of whom lives here in San Dimas. He worships at Glenkirk Church, where he is an elder and lay pastor. Steve works with UC Riverside as a new technology business startup team mentor and entrepreneur in residence, tapping 40 years plus experience as a business executive and consultant. He has served on 3 nonprofit boards, formerly with the World Vision's LA Storehouse and Shepherd's Pantry, and on the board for Three Angels Haiti since 2019. Steve's involvement with Three Angels has taken him to Haiti, the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere, numerous times. Three Angels Children's Relief is a ministry that serves orphans and at-risk families in Haiti. Their mission is to help children in Haiti escape poverty so that they may experience God's love, become part of a healthy home, and grow into who they are called to be. Their approach involves serving orphans and at-risk families with programs aimed at sustainable change. Their vision is that every child in Haiti would have the opportunity to live in a healthy home, either in Haiti or abroad. Welcome to the Rotary Club of San Dimas. Steve, we're pleased to have you.
Thank you so much, and I'm grateful for your including me today. So thanks so much. And like Steve Scott, I'm also currently treasurer, but I'm president-elect commencing in April as well. And as Raymond pointed, I've been on the board. I'm in my 4th year on the board with Three Angels, although my wife and I first went to Haiti back in 2014. I live in Glendora and got a daughter and a son-in-law and grandkids that live in San Dimas nearby. Again, thanks so much for allowing me to join today. Raymond, is the screen, it is shareable, great. Let me just tee up briefly a PowerPoint, make sure everyone can see it. That's who we are, and I'm going to just go to one slide or two, and then I'm going to go to a. It's not letting. There you go. So this is kind of this is a key verse and guidance for us. We're called to care for the fatherless, and we do, and plead the widow's cause. And so we're really our aim is about helping and enabling families to be healthy and whole, with a particular emphasis on children, education, and children that would otherwise not have a chance to have a healthy life. And we'll talk about that in a minute. I'm going to stop that for a second and tee up a video, if I may. I'm going to flip back and forth here. So please bear with me for a second here. I'm going to show you a short video, and it's not showing up on my screen for some reason. Bear with me again, sorry. Okay, now we should be able to see it. It's not it. I'm going to try one more time here. I'm going to close a couple of things here just so I have less stuff that can get in the way. Sorry, please forgive me for that. Maybe that's probably the issue. One more try. Sorry for these mulligans here. Strange that it's not letting me. Okay, I think I've got it now. Let me just make sure you can hear it. I'm going to just tee it up one more time. Again, I apologize. Here we go. Finally.
Traveling through Haiti, it's hard to miss how tough life is for children and their families. Each year, thousands of children are abandoned, and families are torn apart, caught in the cycle of poverty. Three Angels Children's Relief has served orphans and at-risk families for over 10 years. The hope is that children will experience God's love and become a part of a healthy home. We reach out to both orphans and at-risk families so that a few may be adopted and many remain a part of a loving home in Haiti.
What we do at Three Angels is provide them what they missed from their past lives. Therefore, we put in place some interesting activities and resources that will help their brains, their bodies, and their beliefs to develop
and
well.
Families in Haiti are in trouble, trying to survive under the burden of extreme poverty. Our goal is to support these families, to prevent orphans from being created in the first place. There's not one solution to poverty, but there are several ways to help families stay together and thrive.
Bonjour tout le monde.
Education is key. There are no free public schools in Haiti. Three Angels Christian Academy provides families with quality education. They get a safe place to spend the day, a nutritious meal, and a future.
Donc, objectif PAM pour ti moun que Three Angels a éduqué et instruit, nous avons pour ti moun ça, chaque ti moun ça capable de promoteur de lumière dans la communauté côté que y a vivre.
In Haiti, a simple medical issue can quickly turn into a crisis for at-risk families. Most families cannot afford to see a doctor.
Dans Three Angels, nous avons tout passé. Nous avons petit monde, nous avons grand monde. Nous avons tout le monde qui a toute qualité de problème. Nous faisons un check-well pour 2 fois par année pour petit monde l'école. Et petit monde l'école tout, même si on est malade, il y a une possibilité pour venir consulter dans la clinique là. Donc, bénéficier de ça.
Our medical clinic offers critical health care and education to orphans, students, and their families. At the farm, we grow various produce to give our kids real nutrition. The crops also give moms and dads the chance to resell produce and provide income for their families. The nursery grows thousands of trees to combat deforestation, a critical problem that impacts every family in Haiti. Now, the Kimbe Fem Family Center, a home where all of this comes together, a place to receive coaching, education, and encouragement.
I believe that any approach to addressing the poverty in Haiti has to involve serving the families right where they are.
An example of this is Tressan. When her husband died, she was in crisis. She was about to take her children to an orphanage. Instead, Three Angels worked to keep this family together. We are helping her find employment, keep her kids in school, and tending to her medical needs. Whatever challenges lay ahead, she knows she's no longer alone. Please consider partnering with Three Angels. Sponsor one of our students and offer the gift of education, or become an orphan care sponsor and care for a child at our orphanage while they wait to join their family. The challenges in Haiti remain, but together we can help orphans find loving homes, walk families out of poverty, and help them experience the power of God's love. Join us. Learn more at threeangelshaiti.org.
Now, I should have asked if everybody could hear that. I presume you could. Good, excellent. So let me just flip back, if I may, briefly to the PowerPoint. And here's where we stopped. And so there's the video we just saw. Just a few facts. Some of these were touched upon in the video. It's Haiti is the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere. About 59% live on less than $2.50 a day. And a quarter of the people live on less than $1.25 a day. In education, only about 40% of school-age children attend school. And as the video indicated, school is not free. So we charge a small fee for our school, very small, because we want to make sure people view it as school rather than as childcare or daycare for their kids. But the bulk of the cost of our schooling and everything we do is dealt with by donors and support. Only about 1 in 10 kids in Haiti go on in elementary school, go on to high school. And about 61% of the population is illiterate, which is obviously a challenge for digging out of the challenges that are faced. In health, on the health front, 47 deaths per thousand, which is about 8 times the level of the US. And the maternal mortality rate is about 480. So it's out of every 100,000, which is 25 times the rate we experience in the US as a frame of reference. Many children, more than 7%, don't make it past age 5, sadly. And only a little bit over half of Haitian people have access to sanitation facilities, indoor plumbing, sewers, toilets, and really about just a little bit less than half have access to safe drinking water. About half of the children are not vaccinated, and only about 40% of the population has access to health care. It has the highest percentage of orphans in any Western Hemisphere country, and about a third of the population is very young, less than 14 years or younger. So there's a real challenge with dependency there. And other issue, and it was touched upon with the reference to the farm that we have as part of our operation in Haiti, is deforestation. Haitian people historically have cut down trees and used foliage to cook and to heat. And the problem with that is it deforests the country as well as being a health hazard. If you're in a small enclosed area and you're cooking with wood, or you're burning wood, there's a lot of fumes and what have you that can be unhealthy. So we're trying to work with them also on adopting more healthful means of heating and cooking, but equally working on the deforestation issue at the same time. And that's the aim of the farm portion of what we do. So as Raymond kindly pointed out, this is our goal. We support orphans and at-risk families, help them escape poverty. We want them to encounter Christ and become part of a healthy home. Education, orphan care, adoption. We will keep children in our care, but we hope and aim to place them adoptively. And we'll talk about that in a second. We have a medical and dental clinic, and we provide jobs as well. So here's the main elements of what we do. The orphanage itself, touch a little bit more on this, the school, medical, and then jobs, which you see. The farm is featured here, but all of these areas, we are staffed with local Haitian people in these key roles that head up and as well as do the work in the various ministry areas. So here's an orphanage, a little bit about the orphanage and adoption process. We call them orphans, but really the children are abandoned. They might be orphans. We're not always sure. We have actually one child in our care currently who's a foster child. We know the mother, and we're trying to get her equipped so she can take her child back, because obviously whenever we can, ideally we'd like to reunite the child with their family if the family's on its feet. But in this case, the mother's not able to take the child back. So we actually have one child that's in foster care, but the other 13 in our care were abandoned. Some of whom literally were found on doorsteps of hospitals. One or two of them, even in more desperate circumstances than that. Many of the children have medical situations, so we care for them to get them medically taken care of as well. And we have a capacity to handle as many as 18 children. We have 14 currently. We've done approaching 150 adoptions since our inception back in 2003. Our aim is to pair these children, which in Angel House, which is our orphan area, with they're all paired with loving, well-trained nannies. So we have nanny staff that work 24/7, a couple of shifts there, because it's a 24/7 operation. And we're also working at educating mothers, because we'd like to prevent the abandonment. If we can swim upstream and prevent children from being abandoned, then that addresses the issue as well. So there's a lot of training. Our nannies are involved with training young mothers and mothers-to-be on how to care for children, because we want to avoid the abandonment issue that puts these children on our doorstep in the first place. But again, at the moment, we have 14 children in our care with capacity for 4 more. The Christian Academy is 275 children. This year, we've commenced a 7th grade curriculum. Next year, we'll be starting an 8th grade curriculum. And then the year after, our aim is to start a 9th grade curriculum. So we have 275 children, well over 600 to date since we started the school some years ago, have graduated. We provide meals, 1 meal to each of the students, which sometimes is the only good, balanced, healthy meal they'll get during the day. We have children that are under scholarship. They'll go on at education. So our sponsors will sponsor children even beyond the grade school through junior high that we set up. We have 15 students in our newly started 7th grade, and we have 19 that have continued on other junior high. So our aim is to keep the children educated. And as you may recall from the video or from the earlier slide, only a small percentage of children not only make it through grade school, but make it on to junior high, high school, and beyond in Haiti. So our aim is to change that trend. And then we have university scholarships. Several of our students go on from beyond this to school scholarships at universities. And again, we sponsor, we continue to provide sponsorships for students that are in those circumstances as well. We just recently added a library and media center. This is some pictures of it. This is for not only educating the children on computer skills, but even some of the adults. Our aim would be that we can equip the families. They can learn Microsoft Office and basic computer skills. So the Can Be Fem Community Center is a place where we can do such training and advanced training that transcends the normal school curriculum. I think we have like 20 workstations with laptops there as well for these education programs. And then we have the medical clinic. Again, every year, over 2,000 people from the community receive care. This is in the surrounding community. We also educate them on how to prevent the spread of many life-threatening diseases. COVID has obviously been a challenge for us. We don't provide care for COVID, but training on how to avoid the issue. Fortunately, COVID has not hit Haiti as hard as it has the US and other places, I think because it's an isolated island and it's not a vacation spot typically. So it might be something in the constitution of the Haitian people. They haven't had as much COVID challenge as we have had in the US, but there are obviously abundant other issues that they face. And we provide dental and medical care. We have a full-time staff of doctors, and we have a volunteer dentist that's there a couple times a week as well. So here's some of this I've already gone over. We were founded in 2003. We've had many adoptions since then. The academy, the meals we provide, talking about some of the graduates in the community, those that receive care in the community from the medical and dental center. Historically, we've hosted about 20 mission teams annually, but with COVID, that's obviously Hasn't been the case in the last 2+ years. Our hope would be that would resume sometime later this year. There has been a bit of civil unrest in Haiti. The president there was assassinated last year, and so it's been a bit unstable. So we haven't been taking teams back there, but we hope to resume that sometime later this year. I've been there a number of times, and most recently in May. My hope will be to go back again in the first quarter. We have 55 local people that are on our staff that work full-time with our ministry, but the entire of the operation is sustained by volunteers and our staff itself. So here's a couple of compelling success stories. Angeline, as you can see the picture on the left, when she came to us, had some very severe medical challenges. She was near death and didn't really have a lot of promise for a healthy life. But as you can see, a more current picture on the right, she's a healthy, young, vibrant girl, and she's doing terrifically. We have Comerson down below, who also had severe medical issues. He was adopted by a family here in Southern California, and you can see him as a strapping football player there on the right. So we're always excited when we see these children, go from very, very challenging circumstances to having tremendous possibilities and thriving. And our aim is to place these children, especially those that are in the orphanage, obviously, in their forever families that are oftentimes in North America, but sometimes in Europe and Canada and so on. If we can reunite them with their true Haitian family, that's always an aim, but that's challenging to do because typically we don't know, typically they're abandoned. But we do have, again, as I mentioned, one foster parent that we're hoping to reunite with her child that's in our care currently. So here's some of the things we do and how support happens. Sponsoring orphans and children. We do a Christmas dinner every year. We have special projects. We have solar panels that we've equipped with, and so that keeps us off of the unreliable local grid, although the grid can be backing us up. There's always activities at the school and medical, and I'll talk about a couple of projects in a moment here. We have a guest house, by the way, that's on site, which can accommodate teams that come there. We can handle as many as a dozen men and as many as a dozen women on site. And then there's a kitchen there and meals, and it's 24/7 guard. There's a guard there, and it's all secure. So we have a very secure campus there. But we do have a guest house and people that run the guest house for us should we have these mission teams joining, again, recommencing hopefully in the future. And here's some of the supporters, including Rotary. A couple of other Rotary clubs have been generous enough to allow us to participate, and we've gotten some tremendous support historically from Rotary. And here's some of the other organizations that support us. Baylor recently donated several $100,000 worth of medical equipment to us in concert with Dell in Texas. And so that allowed us to really upgrade some of the care and capabilities we have in our medical clinic, which was terrific. So these are just some of the folks that support us. Amongst other local organizations and churches and organizations like San Dimas Rotary. Here's a couple of things, just a couple of ideas. What does help look like? Here's some thoughts. If somebody sponsors an Angel House Orphan, that's a $588 annually. We have a need to paint our classrooms, as you'll see in the lower right. So that's a $4,000 project that we have that we're going to be taking on. We do well checks. I think in the video it was mentioned, we do these well checks twice a year. So the well checks cost $3,500, where we make sure every student and every child in our care, whether they're an orphan or a student, can have a full checkup, get the vitamins they need, et cetera. There's secondary school student sponsorships as an example. And then we also have our build up. We're building out the 8th and 9th grade facilities. And so we're largely funded on that, but there's still a little bit over $11,000 we need to finish that project up per the plans we have. And there's always projects going on, but these are just a few examples of some of the areas of specific funding needs that, whether it's orphanage or school or just overall facilities that are going on presently. Another verse that I think is important to us, we're very focused on children and the families themselves, but children, because obviously if we can get the children on good stead and well-educated and equipped and trained, then we think that the future is brighter for the country itself. And that's a thank you. That's my contact information. I can make, Raymond, if you'd like, I can make this deck available to you if you'd like subsequent to the meeting. I'll leave that to you if that's something that interests you. But that's my contact information. And we're so grateful that you allow us to share a little bit of our story today. And with that, I'm happy to entertain any questions or fill in any blanks that might have been stirred through the video or through my brief presentation.
Well, thank you for the presentation, Steve. We'll open it up to questions. Anyone have any questions they'd like to ask Steve? I've always got one or two. Steve, how did you get, you're obviously very passionate about this. How did you get involved in it?
I've been on it. This is the third nonprofit board I've been on. I was with World Vision's LA Storehouse some years ago, and I was on the Shepherd's Pantry, which is based in Glendora, which was spawned by our church. I've been involved with that. So I, had a kind of heart for some of these things myself, and I've been on a few short-term mission trips over the year. So my wife and I went there in 2014 and saw what was there. And as you may recall, 2010 they had the horrific earthquake. The country still hasn't fully recovered from that. So we saw the near aftermath of that and the need, and then subsequent to that, a couple that were managing the ministry actually in Haiti. He asked me a few years ago to come onto the board, and I decided that I would. So I've been on I'm in my 4th year right now. I've been to Haiti. The first trip was in 2014, but then since then I think I've been there about a half a dozen times. And again, hoping to go back as recently as May, and hoping to go back again. So does that answer the question, Raymond, or anything I would have skirted over?
No, that was my question, how you got it,
Yeah.
how you discovered this and got involved in it. So you
Yeah.
have another unrelated mission and you found.
Yeah. And that's one of the things we mentioned, that we want to get teams back there. I mean, my wife and I went on one of these short-term teams to see what it was about, and that stirred us. And so, but unfortunately, again, with the last 2.5 years of pandemic and what have you, and the social unrest that prevails, we haven't had teams back there. But getting teams there, getting people there is a great way to get people excited and build affinity. So our hope is to resume that. We need to make sure, though, that we can do so responsibly. I'm going to go back fairly soon, but we want to make sure the social unrest is sufficiently quieted that we can feel like it's going to be completely safe to bring guests to see what it's about on the ground.
Very cool. Casey, I see you have a question.
Steve, what have you guys, even through Glenkirk, found doing locally stirs up conversations? I know you can come speak here, and I know you can send money there, but have you guys found any type of anything you can do or experience locally that is beneficial to the ministry that Three Angels is doing in Haiti? How does that work to kind of bring that for people who go?
It's a great question, Kate, because really the U.S. is a fundraising operation. The work happens in Haiti, as you surmise. But we'll do many events. Like if we have a sponsor or someone who's a real advocate for Three Angels, we might have them show a video and do a short presentation and sponsor maybe a dinner or a meet and greet of sorts. So we do that either at churches or with local people that have been supportive of the ministry historically. We haven't done macro events here, although we might. We haven't. Sometimes you have typical galas or golf outings and what have you. We did that when I was with Three Angels, or with Shepherd's Pantry. We haven't done that with Three Angels, although that could change. We find that people who are already have a heart for the mission and have been, and ideally if they've been there or at least had some immersion and involved maybe in sponsorship, that they're often the ones that are terrific for carrying the message and doing kind of these mini events throughout the country. Our board, I happen to be in Southern California. I'm the only board member who is, but the others are in other parts of the country. So we'll have these, again, the network of people that might, work with and through, whether it's a church or a residence that might do a small event like a dinner or a reception, et cetera. But again, if you have ideas or experiences that suggest we're missing opportunities there, I'm please happy to hear and glean from your experiences there as well.
Other questions? Well, Steve, thank you so much for visiting us. You're more than welcome to hang out while we talk about some other stuff that's going on. I can hear Diva just anxiously waiting to tell us about the fashion show stuff.
Great.
But
I should probably stay for that, because as you can see, that's not my long suit. So maybe I should hang on for a tip or two there.
Sure, I would hang out and see all the good stuff we've got going on. I think it's interesting. Hey, so let's first though turn it over to somebody we don't see enough of, and I'm not going to let him go until we see plenty of them. We don't want to see him anymore, and that's our Fine Master. How are you, Mr. Fine Master?
I'm fine, but I thought you were talking about Chris, so let's start with Chris's fine. No, hey, we do fines here in the Rotary, and it is fine. And the fine is just your opportunity to share with us what's going on. Tell us it's fine, it's not fine, or they're fine, and then put a dollar value next to your story, and we will celebrate you and what you have to share. So Chris, thanks for joining us today. How are you?
Yeah, I'll take a $20 fine since I haven't gotten one yet. things are good. They're pretty crazy. Obviously, you see that I'm having a hard time making any of the meetings given all the schedules that happen right on Wednesday overlapping during lunchtime. But I canceled my 12 o'clock so I can be here. City's going well. We're starting our budget process. Lots going on in the city. You guys can see around. I'm very thankful for a community that gives back, that cares about what we have, not just locally, but all around the world. And it was just a fascinating presentation. I didn't know that about Haiti in terms of the statistics, Steve, and didn't know about what you guys were doing out there, which is pretty remarkable. And I don't speak French or Creole or anything that would be able to allow me to communicate there, but maybe someday taking a trip out there to help out would be great.
Be great. We'd love to have you.
Awesome. All right, we see Chris. We hear Chris. He's got himself spined. Who else has something to share that is of value?
Well, most of you know, but I think that since the last Rotary meeting, well, you know what? Actually, I'm going to find two people that are present, but one of them's got to come forward because I don't know if it's public, but one of my children, one of the 5, and you all know who it is, and recently informed me that I will be a grandfather for the 5th time. And so the only thing I was pretty angry is that birthday will be in June, and there are 5 other birthdays in the family in June. That's just damned inconvenient. So I'll think I'll go $10 on that, but I'll double it if the other person comes forward who may also have a June grandchild.
We're July, so it can't be me. I'll let you double your fine though. Raymond's going to double the fine and pick up my penalty because my kids are still drawn on my wallet. But yeah, Andrew and Ellie got married this last summer in July, and they are expecting right around their anniversary. The fun part of the story is, this is youth at its finest. We want to have kids, so we're not going to use protection, but we're not going to have kids for at least 2 years. And we said, those two things don't go together, my son. No. We're going to be careful.
Right.
All right, you're right.
Oh, wait, but just my fine was 20. I'll put 10 on top of it just to say, hello, Grandpa Casey.
Grandpa Casey, come this July.
Who's next for a fine?
Well, I don't want to pile on, but I think I think I'd like to fine Steve $5 because I know how excited he is to do a virtual pets rather than checking into the hotel and pretending that he's sick to get out of half of pets.
And Steve, I just want to, before you respond to that, Steve, I was taking that and giving it to you as a gift, and Mike just took it back and fined you for it. So I'm now off the hook for finding Steve last year for something.
Yeah. Mike's revealing trade secrets here. And I will gladly pay $10 in fines for being able to attend a Zoom Pets.
Awesome.
All right. Well, if anybody else has a fine, we'd love to hear from you, and it is fine for you to share your story. Other than that, I think we're wrapping up.
Okay, so that's our fine master. Thank you very much. This is the Action 360 part of the meeting. Before we go to that, I'm going to go out and be sending out emails to people whose dues are 90 days in arrears. Need to get that caught up before Steve takes the helm. So if you get an email from me, it's just a friendly reminder. Action 360, the 2026 committee, which is a committee that is working on the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence, our celebration here in the city. It met last week. It is doing good work and moving forward very rapidly. Lots of cool stuff there. Teacher mini grants we talked about. Satellite Rotary Club, we got a couple of members here. Anything you want to let us know what's going on? Glenn, Anthony? No, you're just shaking your head no. Okay, well, you guys got a food drive coming up on March 11th. We sent out 600 letters from the Rotary Foundation to various organizations. We have already received $1,600 in donations, and that's just in 4 days. So I'm very excited. Also, we received Marilyn Sparks will be holding a at the Chamber Coffee Hour at her office in San Dimas in February. We'll be holding a mini food drive to support our food drive for the 29 Palms Marine Corps base, those enlisted families. And I also told you about digital donuts, which I'll be bugging you more about. Fashion show, Diva, what did you want to tell us?
So I was able to get one local designer. She actually went to San Dimas High, and her business is actually in Los Angeles now, but her business is called Mina Selection. She is graciously allowed us to use some of her designs to walk the runway. And I'm still looking for more involvement as far as more local designers, if anybody knows anybody. I want to still try to just get designers to participate, but I am going to reach out to local stores, boutiques, and things that of that nature. Hopefully, they might want to also be part of it. You know, we're going to need accessories, we're going to need shoes, and things like that. So far so good. Got that one. But you know, looking for more people or even sponsors that are willing to sponsor the outfit so that it can be you know, given away to somebody else or something like that. So again, everything's coming along slowly but surely. And again, this is a learning process for me. Again, like I told Raymond and Glenn, you know, I really didn't realize how much goes into doing something like this from beginning to end, and not even anywhere near the end. So, but I appreciate all the help that I've been getting on this. So I'm excited.
So that event is scheduled for June 17th, 10 a.m. at Life Pacific University. It will be
Correct.
a brunch and fashion show. And essentially, between now and when's the next fashion show committee meeting, Diva? Do you remember what we talked about?
We said, well, I said that by February 5th, I would send out the email letting you know. So
Okay.
I think now we're okay with maybe putting the next meeting out. What do you think?
I think so. February 5th was her deadline to come up with clothing for a fashion show. It's not like she's done that. So we'll be putting something else out about that. Very good work on your part. We actually have the caterer now. We've got the location, the caterer, we're getting the clothes in. Now we need to look at hairstylists and makeup from the local community. Then we need to reach out to the school districts and make sure that we can get students, but we are moving forward, and that's really cool. We'll send an email out. I hope that most of you will show up for the fashion show committee. Anything else we need to know, Diva?
No, that's it. But I did want to ask you, did you get my email on that art project for the Peace Project?
Yeah,
for Rotary?
Before you signed in a little late at the top. We sent out that application to the school district office and asked that it be sent to all schools. I sent it to Sean Casey at Chaparral. He acknowledged. It went to Holy Name, and it also went to McKinley Children's Center.
Oh, good.
So
Good,
it is
good.
out with the students. Okay, so that's all we have right now. Let's go over the calendar and then we can call it a day. Okay, so coming up, the next meetings we have is on February 1st will be the exercise coach, Jennifer Smith. She has a local business, and we'll be talking about sarcopenia, which is the loss of muscle in aging. And the Veterans Last Patrol will be the satellite meeting that same day at 1800 hours. Veterans Last Patrol is a retired colonel. What they do is they pair veterans with veterans in hospice. And so as a veteran is in hospice the last couple of weeks of his life, he's paired with another veteran who goes through that experience with him. On February 5th, we of course have a board meeting on February 8th. February 15th, we have Toastmasters coming in to talk about the partnership between Rotary International and Toastmasters International. That night at the Satellite Rotary Club, it will be homeless military veterans and a speaker by Kelly Hall, and she's coming in from, they're speaking about Oklahoma. This is a project in Oklahoma. And then on February 22nd, our meeting will be Shoes That Fit. This is a local nonprofit that collects shoes for children that fit, I guess, better than shoes that don't fit. So that's it. Anybody got anything before we wrap it up? All right. See you guys later.
Bye, everybody.